Kay here, and I'm joined by Fumitox and others in the CWC in the House Discord, watching the CWC Crazyhouse Candidates Match between Sexy I Know It and the Kleerkast. So, any thoughts, Fumitox?
No, yeah. I haven't seen
I mean, in general.
too many matches, but by Kleerkast, I don't know. I think Kleerkast has some chances today, and it seems like Saxion, I know it doesn't really know is winning. Which is surprising.
Well, Sexy I Know It made an opening error in the last match, but in general, he's a bit of an opening expert.
Yeah.
Because you can see way back, even in 2016, he was studying opening theory and set up the Crazyhouse Theoreticians team on Lichess. So Morad is asking, is this CWC? Yes, it is.
Queen f6 might be interesting right now. Take, knight e2. Take.
Hello?
Hi there, Oppa. So.
Hello, okay.
Hi there, we're streaming. So Blunderman is saying, can't hear the other guy. So Fumitox, you are quite quiet, so if there's something to put your volume up, that would be great. But I can hear you fine. I can hear you fine, though. So, but just the guys are saying, I've got you on 200%, but I can't. But you're good for me. You're good for me, but for the guys listening, they want you a bit louder. And hi, Oppa.
Yeah, I'll try.
No, don't worry about it. But
so it's clear that black can take with the G pawn. You just got knight G7. King F8, knight G7 takes E6.
Yeah.
Why didn't he play? If you play King F8, you just can take a bishop or take on H7. So black is dead. Oh, he got knight E2.
So he takes the bishop. Yeah, knight E2.
Oh, he got a take.
Yeah.
Because just king takes. You take on G7 and then he castle long, maybe.
Hi there, White Dancing Rockstar. So this is game one of a CWC Candidates Match.
So definitely pawn takes E7.
I don't know, maybe bishop f1 and you're not dead
It's highly
yet.
possible.
Yeah, maybe black is not dead after bishop f1. I don't see immediate mate.
And then a block on f8.
Yeah.
Okay, so then would be a knight drop on f6. But if you take on f1, you're losing your coverage of d7. So you have to run to e7, is it?
Let's take the rook first.
Yeah, take a rook, block with.
Yeah. I'm assuming you've taken already. You've taken. They've blocked knight f6.
Well,
king e7.
Yeah, actually, it looks bad because knight on d4 is going to be hanging.
Oh yes, that's true. Yeah, maybe. But I don't know how you get the king onto the d file. But yeah, it's tight.
Yeah, but if you check on d7 after, then if you take, you can take on d4.
Right, that's it. Yes.
And if you go on e7, then catch it. I think he needed to block here and leave the queen. Yeah, I think
black is quite solid.
Yeah, the bishops are doing a good job defending.
Yeah.
If you play pawn d7, you just go to d8. I I like knight b6 maybe. Or is that too weird? If you take with the a pawn, pawn at a7. If you take with c pawn, king e5. Probably black can use defense by playing knight g6.
I don't like rook a8. Like, why not g7 and then rook h8 or something? Yeah, this is not good for white.
So they're saying that I'm too loud. So let's see if I can just make myself a bit softer. I can't change it from the stream, but I might be able to change it from my system preferences. But if it's not opening. So if I just
It's time for a pawn break. Pawn f3.
Yeah, for sure.
okay, so let me know, Blunderman, if this is a bit better. So I've tried to put my own mic down from the system preferences. Okay, so yeah, I did.
Oh, what's this? No, he's just mated. His king got mated on h5.
Yeah.
Cool win by Kleerkast.
Yeah, I don't like how sexy attacked rook a8. I think that was weak.
That's the wrong match. Okay.
Yeah, let me see.
So just see here. Was bishop takes f1 a thing? Just going to just quickly look on the engine.
This looks familiar.
Yeah, so it was mate if you took for white. Yeah, so we'll look at the games later. Sorry, I shouldn't disrupt.
I had it against Kleerkast. I played pawn a6, but castle is just better. Because knight b5 is no threat. You use defense. Oh, he takes. Interesting.
This looks good. I mean, he's in on the dark squares. It's quite uncomfortable for black. So Janley was quite critical of this bishop g4 move because he thought white wants to play h3 anyway. So you're kind of giving an extra. You're losing a tempo playing it.
Yeah, but I was afraid if I put the bishop on g6 that he might take it sometime, and then push e4.
Right.
First h3 maybe.
Okay.
And it seems that Stockfish agrees on it. I think black is fine if you just take on d6 and play knight b5.
Yeah, I think so too.
The knight on h4 is also out of play. So black lost the tempo, but the bishop is still okay on h5. And the knight is bad on h4.
Yeah.
You may need to open up the bishop, so that's good. But now black is just better.
Yeah, you can take on e2 now. And white has nothing. I mean, this opening is just not good for white in a long time control.
Maybe bishop a4. Maybe you can allow takes e2.
So welcome, Kyle.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Kyle. Well, bishop a2 looks good.
And now we want to take and play knight f4.
I mean, there's kind of crazy looking knight at c3. I don't know if it's me. Oh, sorry, it's white's move.
I don't like this one. I use bishop d6.
What about bishop e2 now?
Bishop takes e2. Yeah, looks. Yeah, bishop takes e2 is just material. You can
Yeah,
take on
because-
d4 and a4.
Yeah,
Oh
If you
yeah.
take on
because-
d4, knight e2.
Oh nice.
yeah, because you can't
nice.
retake on d4.
Yeah, nice.
I like to attack the rook. Bishop f6.
I don't know about bishop f6. As you take on g6 many times, and then white has something. Not much, but something.
Ja. Ik ben even bezig, maar oké, is prima.
Okay, always sack the queen. Yes. I mean, in a position like this, two pieces are just better than one piece.
Well, those bishops don't look good though. Why would he take it?
Bishop e7. Bishop e7 is coming.
Ah, okay.
You can do knight h7. Yeah, knight h7 looks fine.
Yeah, then I'd get to work on the back rank. It's the best plan.
What
for
do we
white.
do now?
Knight h7. No.
The back rank is going to be weak.
Well, back rank is fine because white has no
Only one queen.
pieces.
Hmm.
And you can always block on e8.
True. We're going to see evidence of this.
Yeah, rook
Wait,
d8 was
black.
not good. Why
Who
not
is this?
rook a8 immediately?
I like queen d3. Then you can
Yeah.
take on f5.
Yeah, agree. Maybe take on a a7.
Then knight b5.
And then go back.
Dit is begonnen. Ja, tuurlijk. Je kan hem altijd stoppen. Oké.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, white is wrecked. No, a3? No.
So white's only got mages to defend with. So
I like this game a lot. How black played.
Well,
It's black and getting
Why
so on time.
take on d4. Look how safe you are. Oh, he's afraid of knight h6.
he's in on the diagonal now. You can just take it even. Rook g2, is it a thing or not?
Knight f4. Knight f4 looks good.
yeah, knight f4 was good.
Knight's hanging. Okay, black is still winning.
Wow.
Okay, well, that makes it easy.
A nice start of the match. 2 interesting games.
Oh, I know this opening.
Oh yeah, that's how you wrecked a certain person.
True. With very deep prep of like 7 moves.
Black got big problems already. Knight f3. Look at the white squares. This is terrible. Knight f3. Or bishop f4. Knight f3 is normal.
Why did he play a different opening? If he won the first game, why change?
Oops, I was saying a bit.
Knight f3.
Sorry about that. So it's going again.
Oh no,
Ooh,
that's
that's
6. No.
6. This looks
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
Resigns.
It's not fun it's not fun to learn openings. But you are fast. If you wanna win.
Oh, that's nasty. This
Well, I
happened.
guess you can go c6 or c5.
This happened in upper Kleerkast as well. Knight b5, which couldn't be defended.
Well, knight b5 is like the only idea of this opening.
I have some players as black play a6 to stop it, but that wastes the tempo.
Just knight d8.
I don't know, c6.
Oh yeah, that's true. Simply 98. 98 simply defends it. Okay, c6 as well, but
The same game.
98 is solid though.
Well, I kind of want
on c7 again.
my knight to go on e4.
Well, yeah, so last time we had this exchange here, but the difference in this time is that white is not controlling the diagonal at the end of that exchange. He'd only have a knight in hand, which isn't good to control the diagonal.
Okay, now why did you even play knight
Yeah,
e8 if
c6.
you're gonna play c6?
Yeah, I agree.
Huh?
c6 is giving away what white wanted, so white just goes, oh, got it.
I mean, this is such a slow opening that even if you waste a move, it's okay.
Yeah.
A4. What's that?
I don't know, I guess he wants to push a5, a6, then take and take. I don't know.
Possibly just a waiting move.
Pawn G5 looks like material.
He's targeting g3. So you could take that and put a bishop on d5.
No, don't take. No need to take.
No, okay. I think it could be a way of getting in on the light squares. But
But
okay.
take.
Okay, so what's the threat from black? Is it pawn at g3? Oh no, that wouldn't work.
Well, there are no threats in this opening. You just kind of have to build up.
Ah, he's coming on the light squares after all. I mean, it's interesting, he had a triple bishop on the dark square diagonal, but his attack is going to be on the light squares now.
Yeah, black is way better here.
For sure. Probably wants to hit that knight. Yeah, so these are the two white's two active pieces, bishop and knight. Just need to hit them. Pawn at d6.
What?
I think he's going for bishop e4 at the end of the exchanges.
but I don't have to exchange. I
Then,
go like bishop e2.
then he's
Maybe it's better now.
Take
Yeah,
the
or
knight.
that and then go. No, don't take. Just like a pawn on f3 protects
what?
white.
Ooh,
White's
he's
king.
going for pawn on h3. Yeah, he's going
Yeah,
for pawn on
d3 is
h3 and then
good.
taking the queen. Yeah. And then he's in on g2. So it's well played from Sexarianert, who takes a 3-1 lead.
Back to this opening.
Oh, he's playing it so annoying.
So which side is playing annoying?
You don't have to go knight c3. You can go f3 and
Yeah, this is
annoying full black.
yeah, this is what Sexy's doing. Yeah. This
Knight g5.
yeah, this is still
Why not f3 or move 6? Move 6 f3. I don't believe in the compensation.
Sling? Maybe.
yeah, knight g5 is I've played this before, so knight g5. Yeah, I don't know whether it's
I don't
theory or not.
know.
Don't know about the theory, but
Knight there doesn't have any places to go, and if I manage to attack it, then it's just good.
that's true.
Oh no.
This is super annoying.
Yeah, it is.
The Tarot Platypus has done this many times to me, and I want none of that.
Yeah, but you can. Yeah, he did the right thing. Just sacrifice on b7. Somehow it's not as good as it looks for white. Like I saw many positions like this where Stockfish says sacrifice on b7 and then black is better. Okay, bishop b5, I guess. Or maybe a4 first. Tough choice.
I mean, so for black, you're saying, oh, I see. Oh, I see. You want to hit. You want.
Well, I'm not sure about bishop a4 because you can go b3 and then bishop b5 and then c4.
Yeah. So if b3, maybe bishop b2 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can't lose the bishop on a4. You can't trade it for a rook because your light squares are really bad.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Decent.
don't see why not. Why not b3?
It's good thinking because I was thinking about, worried about creating weakness in my own position and not thinking, but that would actually create a huge weakness in the opponent's position.
Well, yeah, white can even sacrifice, I don't know, a queen for that bishop.
Yeah.
Because then you're just really good.
Maybe he was thinking about knight a6. on move 14.
Knight a6. I guess you can just take on b2 and then run.
Knight a6 takes b2. Pawn b7. It's gotten messy.
Well, we're in a similar line now.
Not needed.
We're in a,
Basically, he doing the same.
this
But
is
this is not needed. You shall just play b3 indeed. He's safe. No need for complications.
okay. He's got the bishop to e.
I like bishop e3 better.
Okay, queen a3 and take a knight. That's a free knight. No, queen. No. Why not take a free knight?
Yeah. No, I mean, if they're beginners watching the stream, in Crazy House, like it is a principle: don't resign. But like, like if you're playing a 1500, you don't resign, okay? But yeah, both those games were dead.
The first thing I learned about Case House is never resign.
He's certainly mate on d7, which is pretty nasty. He's in on those light squares that Fumitox was warning us about.
Yeah, this is just...
Kleerkast is running. Okay, now mate threat on e8. How you defend e8? How do you defend e8?
For black.
You can't defend e8.
Black? F5, I don't know.
F5, okay. Yeah. Oh, nice. So the bishop defends e8. Wow, that's actually quite nice.
I mean, this is still not great. He had such a good position and then he just ruined it.
This is nice because the queen can't retake on g3 where you take the bishop. This is awkward. Only 2 seconds, 4 seconds on the clock now.
Get flags.
King e2, but that's
Yeah, I mean,
crazy move.
black's about a pawn away from mating.
Flag. Oh,
What about f4 now?
no, king queen.
No,
Again,
f4.
black
That's
is
how you sack the queen.
No, it's not winning.
Useless.
Yeah.
What? That's a check. That was a check.
2 seconds, come on.
Not anymore.
Oh boy.
What the heck?
Scary. He's a pawn away from getting mated in lots of these positions.
Yeah, but there are no pawns on the board.
Uh-oh.
No, knight.
Oh my gosh.
Take the pawn on c2. The pawn, I see pawn.
Nice move.
That's like the only pawn you...
He's
you
threatening with
make a
h2. 2
move.
seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Oh, and sexy flags.
Was gonna flag.
Okay, that was dramatic. And it didn't need to be, because take the free knight on c3 and then you're just good.
But then at the end, like, yeah, sexy, I know it should have been winning. So welcome VSim in the Twitch chat. Hi there. He gives a Craigasm to that last game. And in case any viewers just joined us, so we're joined in voice chat here from the Discord. And if you want the Discord link, just type in !Discord by National Master Fumitalks, by Kyle Legion, and by International Master Operazen. So welcome, guys. So we've got another d4, d5 slow game, as it were. But no attack on c7, but black for some reason volunteers c6 in this game. Now, why would he do that? So it's as if he's trying to stop knight b5 before it even happens. And he's not worried about the dark squares, so he's probably going to himself put a bishop on this diagonal. So Fumitalk's writing Yeah, you don't play this game to defend. If you have to defend, resign and attack in the next game, especially if you're fast and if you're strong.
Good advices. Very wise. Very wise words by the guy in the chat.
I don't know, but what I admire about someone like Penguin is, you know, when he's playing Bullet and you think, oh, come on, it's a lost position, don't just resign. And he keeps on fighting on like a piece down or something and then ends up winning or flagging or something.
Well, in Bullet, you should never resign.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're way down time and you're in a bad position.
So openings don't matter in Bullet. Himself that like he was playing Master 10 and he was like doing A4, H4 and all of those stuff. And he said it gives him better chances because he doesn't have to deal with feeling.
Also makes your opponent think when you play.
And you can't. Oh no, it's Bullet, but
Yeah, but A4 makes your opponent think in the opening. What setup should I use? You don't have a pre-planned setup.
Okay, I really like this position because I have no idea what to do for buff colors.
that's how I feel in almost every default position.
Okay, he decides to be annoying.
Well, yeah, I think I like black. I mean, you could take the knight and then replace it on e4. That would be one idea.
No, I don't know, because you replace and then white has an extra knight in hand and then b file is open.
Okay, yeah, right.
See, you have to do nothing in order to.
Yeah, like queen b6, I don't know. Or, I don't know, a5.
Yeah.
You gotta wait till your opponent just wrecks his own position.
Yeah. You have to wait for your opponent to do something, and then you can take advantage of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a long time control, so you can just do waiting moves and be up time in the end.
Okay, so he's targeting c3.
Yeah, he's gonna defend like knight d1. I don't know. I see knight d1 coming.
Yeah, Sexy does need to play faster. Sexy does need to accelerate. Is it? You can't
I
let your
mean, white has a very clear plan, like rook b1.
Yeah.
I don't know. How about new pawn at g4?
So he's going for c. No, what's he going for?
Is it time to sack the queen? Sack the
Oh,
queen?
nice move.
Yes, sack the queen.
So what's the idea?
Oh
Oh,
no.
I see.
Ah.
Distract.
Always sack the queen.
Yeah, don't sack your king position.
Yeah.
I agree with 2012. He should have played e4. Oh wait. Pawn d3. On move 25. Pawn d3. Looks very stronger.
Forced to sack your queen.
Yeah, but now it's for nothing. Just take on d2 and be happy. Yes.
Happy.
Well, maybe not too happy because I don't know, f6.
Ooh.
Don't get flagged. Please.
Which one?
Oh, Sexy's lost.
Sexy.
Queen f4.
He's lost more
Queen
than
f4.
one. Oh, nice.
Yes, draw.
Oh,
Oh, you stacked bishop.
Wait, why didn't he take on g7? Did you actually need to defend there? Let me see. Yeah, taking on g7 was way better than.
So just looking right at the end. Check.
Yeah, well, white was.
So I didn't actually see the finish, but something like. Yes, that's defended, but this isn't. Okay. So, okay, returning to the current game. So it's 4-2 to Sexy, I know it. Yeah, I'll have a quick look at that again, actually. So on which move takes g7? So
Well, instead of defending.
yeah, f takes g7 on move 33.
Taking.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's still bad, but at least you.
Oh,
Like your opponent has,
it thinks
has to be worried.
It went from -12 to equal in that line. Yeah, the computer is saying it's really interesting. It's actually saying equal.
Seriously?
It's saying a draw.
Whoa. Ah.
King takes g7.
No.
H5, king g6. Yeah, it's seeing a theoretical draw. Rook at g7. King takes h5. g4. So you have to either take. Taking the g4 you lose. So you take the bishop. Rook at h5. King g3, g takes f5 check, king f3, bishop bishop to e2 check. Why can't you just take it? Because then you get mated, rook takes g2. So you have to go king to e4. Oh my goodness, this is such a long line. Bishop to d3, and then you go back. Okay, finally we got to the draw. So you can't go up and down. Oh my goodness.
Okay, do we count as a draw?
I missed you.
Well, if he didn't resign, he would have found an inferior move and he would have lost. So
What is this move? Knight takes d4.
Is he gonna say take on f7 if black takes on d4? I just don't know what the idea of knight c3 is.
worked. Kind of.
Yeah, bishop b6 is a good move.
Knight f3? What do you do against that?
Well, knight f3, you just take on g4. And then you retake with check, and then no
I got you.
rook
Yeah,
f7
I
threat.
got you. You're retaking with check. That's brilliant. Yeah.
Okay, now just take on e5, and black is really good here. Take. Or maybe bishop c6 is an idea. Yeah, actually I like bishop c6 maybe.
Bishop c6 looks like the most normal move.
Yeah, bishop c6 looks...
Definitely bishop c6.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because the knight is pinned. So just simply hitting that knight.
Well, I'm not convinced because white has like e4 now maybe. Defending... oh. Yeah, I like e4 better than c4.
You can even play rook h1 and knight f2 take d1.
Yeah.
It's going for a knight.
No, got a knight.
Okay, so black gets a queen.
Okay, got to play bishop a4 now or something. Got to check.
You can play c6 and he's safe, I think.
But
C6,
white
D6.
looks safe too for now. No, c6 I would
D6
take.
or d6. Ooh.
No, just take. Why not take?
That's a crazy move.
Wait, what about c7 now?
That's a crazy move. You shall just take,
Um,
put the pawn on d7. You got 3 knights in hand. This is dangerous.
Stop.
Yeah, white should win this. Let's see. Where's the mate?
Maybe.
I don't see a
Is
mate.
queen e8 mate?
So queen,
Rook takes knight d7. If king e7, knight at d5,
Yeah, might
queen
be
b8,
mate.
yeah,
pawn c7,
yeah.
knight b6.
Yeah, so
Pawn d7
if king g8, knight h6 takes knight f6 mate. So the king has to come out. Oh, sorry. Then the king could come to g7. Sorry, what was the line again? King after king g8?
Is queen e8 a move? Or is it too aggressive?
Yeah, so queen e8,
It
rook
looks dangerous.
knight d7.
Wait, what the heck is...
So he has to go to
Knight
g8, the only move,
Yeah,
but it's not an easy mate.
yeah, and then
10. So I have 2 knights in hand,
Yes.
and my knight is pinned on e3. Let's see. I can still play knight f6. It's complicated.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's dangerous.
Oh, it's all or nothing at this point.
He went all in, yeah. I mean, white didn't have any threats, so you didn't have to go
Queen
all
d5.
in. Yeah.
Rook e4.
No, black should win now. Definitely.
Ooh, I don't like rook f3.
Not anymore.
King h4. I like white.
Why didn't he do bishop takes?
I don't know.
White's winning.
Oh
Checkmate.
no.
Well, that was a game and a half.
And also guarantees the half point.
Yeah.
So we were thinking here, queen at
h3 is not critical move.
And b4 trapping the knight.
I don't think that's a big problem. The knight is bad anyway on a5.
Okay.
So yeah. Sorry, okay, return to the current game. So it's 5-2, so it's game 8.
The knight is misplaced on g5. Use rook f8.
Okay, pawn at d4 seems.
The question is, what piece do we want to win? Do we want to win e3 or c3, or do we want to win the knight on g5?
Wait, what's wrong with taking on b2? Yeah.
Can you take the pawn and win the piece on g5?
What is going on?
White seems to be hanging pieces.
Okay, I take.
I agree.
Yes. Take.
Take
Yeah, maybe take.
with bishop or knight. Knight. Or bishop. Or is knight, open up the rook file and then bring the other
Yeah,
bishop
maybe
in.
take with a knight. Yeah, I would take with a knight. Well, actually, take with a knight. White takes on e5.
Ah,
and pretend to have something.
hang on. If you take the knight's defending at e5. So take e5, queen takes bishop.
The thing is that if you're up material, you don't want to go in positions where you can die.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't need to do that. You can just play safely. But if you go in a sharp position, it might not matter that you're up material.
Knight c3.
A5.
Just go.
Well, also E2. Oh no, E2. Yeah. What?
I will take on e3.
So you want to
Then
take
you got a hole on g3.
So the queen does end up on g2. I mean, Sexy is being very conservative about material. He's trying to restrict Kleerkast. As I said, restrictive chances. He's material up. He just wants to play a containing game here, as you've been saying.
You want to play the best moves
Yeah, he's not.
instead of being practical and play fast.
Okay,
Wait,
2 seconds.
what?
Come on.
Why is he? Is he gonna?
E2.
Oh
Obvious.
no! Is he
He's
gonna?
gonna
Is he
flag.
gonna lose this? Okay, Queen F6. Just take. Okay, now you just mate
Oh,
here.
this is really a pity.
Rook takes.
Wait, bishop.
No, rook takes.
Don't.
Oh. Oh, bishop takes
It's
discards.
obvious.
And just take on g8. Yeah. Knight e7, queen of 8.
Yeah, true. Take.
He's got all the time to think, though. His queen is all stranded on h1.
We found
Nice.
Yep.
it. What the hell? How do you lose a position like this?
He was trying to play too much of a containing game. Playing too much of material. Yeah, Lone Wolf does play very sharp games, which means he gets some nice wins. But also he means he gives chances when playing lower rated players. But it makes for interesting games, though.
Wait, what?
Same line, night before.
Time for Queen H4. No. Queen H4 wins.
Yes, I was wondering, do you guys see a green bar saying I'm streaming?
No.
No, don't know why.
You have to be playing. You have to join. You have to like join a tournament. You can't like spectate and have it appear.
Okay, I see. I didn't get that. Cool.
You gotta get a title.
Yeah,
And
that's
if you have a title, it's not gonna show.
that's a long way off. I haven't played over the board for about 20 years. Yeah, well, if anyone is just joining us, we're joined here by Fumitox, Carl Legion, and Opper Wazen, and we're giving commentary from the house Discord, which if you type !Discord, you can find info to join. Maybe I'll just type that myself. And yeah, providing commentary of this Crazy House World Championship match, which Sexy, I know it's winning 5-3. It's 10 games exactly, so Kleerkast needs to win 2 in a row to get a draw. And Sexy just needs, well, actually, Sexy can go for a draw, right? And make Fumi very happy. And that would be enough for him.
Yes.
Yes,
draws.
offer a draw.
Go for 2 draws.
Oh yeah.
Okay, why is White so afraid of something? Yeah, F3. Good. What?
I like Queen E2. Queen E2 with the idea, Knight E6.
I see.
If you
Yeah.
play Bishop E7, Knight at E6.
Knighted. Did you say knighted?
There's no reason to defend.
I mean, can't Black just push, even with h3?
Pushing is dangerous. Because you have a weak G6 square.
Oh, that's the idea. Knight at H5 and take on E4.
Well, you
But
can
Black
take
got to check on F3 first.
Yeah.
First Black King H1.
Oh, nice. Bishop F8. Oh, take.
Ah, he's using his queen. When do you go queen takes queen? Oh, it's check. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
always lose the queen.
Right.
If he just the opponent, yeah, just save win.
Is Kleerkast a chess player, by the way?
I don't know.
2100 blitz and bullet. So not bad.
No, I don't think you can be as strong as he is without being that level in chess.
B5. That's a weird move.
Well, I just think he didn't know what to do.
Just take on h4 and on e6.
Okay, so it's queen takes.
Sexy got this. Take on e6.
Queen G,
Queen e7.
Queen G5 is fine. I like Queen G5 more than taking on this. Here you're just killing.
Oh, after
Like
queen
like
e7 you want pawn f6.
nothing can go wrong here.
Rook
Take
at
on
d8.
G4.
Well, rook at d8.
Finally, someone understands.
No rook anywhere. Take on
No,
G4.
stop attacking. Just take g4.
Is g4 so dangerous?
No,
Why
but
not?
it kills your opponent because like black has literally nothing to do if I take on G4.
Black's his queen. Even though he's winning, like there's no reason to.
Okay, the knight's coming in. It's going for a mate.
Queen
This is
B8.
mate. Just
Queen
take
B8.
the rook. Take the rook and mate.
Okay, the knight's only defend the left.
Rook A8, mates.
Oh, no
Rook
to a
A8.
hook.
Yeah, rook
Rook
a8.
A8, mates.
Yeah, rook a8 is nice.
F8 hook. What?
Rook A8 mated.
Yeah, rook a8, beautiful. Okay, rook. Ooh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
This also
Okay,
works.
this works, yeah. He has enough
Nice,
rooks.
he takes the.
6 games to 3.
Oh, back to this. Ugh. This opening should be banned.
I hate playing this against this as black.
Ugh.
Okay, you want to get in on g4, h3. How do you do that?
Draw. Yes.
Yeah, time to offer the.
I see a draw.
Yeah, I see too.
Ugh.
Takes,
Ah.
replace.
This why? Why?
In game 10.
Why are they teasing me?
Win the bet.
Yeah, that would be a valid draw.
The bet.
But for me, if
You
someone
have
just
to. You have
that would be a valid draw. But if someone just offers a draw
Oh.
right at the beginning of the match, I don't think that should count. I think it should have to be a legitimate draw.
Well, a draw is a draw.
bet. You have to go back to the CWC and select some people and then offer them a draw in a winning position.
Well, my draws wouldn't count. We agreed on that. Take the pawn.
Which
take.
one? No, that one.
Yes. Take 3 pawns.
Okay, reroute to e4 maybe. It'll be slow.
Just 96.
96, knight e4.
Yeah, go knight b6, then rook c8, then knight a8. That's good stuff.
You can play
Nice.
passive moves because he's ahead of material.
Yeah, just play passive moves till white drops all his pieces, and then start playing.
So Fumitot's giving lessons in trolling.
Pawn e4.
So it isn't okay. It's e3 anything. Anything we can do with e3 because it's not defended. Pawn e4.
What?
It is quite interesting because if he goes,
I like that one.
if he goes knight e2,
I would take on d5 maybe, because why not? At this point, why not just sack the knight? Okay, time for counterplay, like bishop h5. I don't know. Go bishop h1. No, no, no. Why do you want to suffer? Like, it's your last game, you're not winning the match.
I like this.
Why?
Because so he's attacking
Why suffer?
queen, rook, and bishop. The bishop is the piece he should take. The weakest piece is the strongest piece.
That's very wise. I would take the rook.
I completely agree.
I like pawn takes c4. Then you can also play g6 or g2.
No, take c4, I take on f2. Yeah, I like take a rook and rook e1, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yes, it's so simple and so good.
Yeah.
And then just
So g1. You can't
wait
defend
till your
g1.
opponent runs out of time.
Yeah, you can't.
You can just take the pawn.
Yeah, just take the pawn. Take and take again.
Well, you can also take the rook. But yeah.
And now g2 is killing. Wait, what?
Yeah, rook g1 is.
Why?
Okay, rook
Yes.
h1 is mate.
About 2 knights. Okay, this mate.
GG's.
Yeah, well played. 69 out. 7 games to 3. So yeah, already in the opening, he's got a slight, after 10 moves or so, he seems to have got a slight edge. But black has got a slight edge.
Well, yeah, this opening is bad for white.
It's bad for white, yeah.
In bullet it's good because you're just safe, and then at some point you get a chance. But in a long time control, you just suffer the whole game.
Yes, I mean, I know from experience it can be kind of annoying to play against because it takes a long time to work out how to break down white's defenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course the rook was good. And Easy, mate.
Okay, when is the next match? In like 3 hours?
No, the next match is in 43 minutes.
What? Wait, who's playing?
JK the Bullfrog
Isn't
against
isn't it in an hour and 43 minutes?
against GSVC in no, I think literally in 43 minutes. So what I'm going to do actually in the break, I'm actually just going to look at some of the games we've just watched. Just look at some of the things I wanted to look at during the match, but I didn't want to disrupt the flow too much. And some people don't like analysis.
I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, see you, Kyle. Thanks, Kyle, and thanks, Fumatox, for joining, and thanks, Operason, as well.
And of course, a few comments by me. See you.
See you, Opera. So, just having a quick look at some of the games. This was game one. Okay. Okay, so that knight is so on move 10, queen takes d4. Yeah, that knight might have been poisoned because oops, takes d4. Yeah, that because if black gets so black can take this bishop. Yeah, this is what happened in the game. Bishop takes b4, and he can get a knight here and win the queen. That sort of idea. Is there anything else white could do here? Because he played a very weird move, knight f6. So he could do something like, okay, so queen takes bishop. So why is this so bad to take back on d4? So it's weird, it says it's bad because at depth 16 it's recommending move 10, queen takes d4, and yet when it ran it through Stockfish it says, okay, it's seeing another move, which is knight f6 immediately. The idea being, I'm not sure what the idea is being. If you take on f6, yeah, I don't understand this position at all. In game one, do you take d? What is this? Okay, so what we saw in the game was takes b5, knight f6, check with this weird idea, queen takes f6. You take the queen, but then you lose it again. And this seems reasonable for black to do, to win back the queen. And yet, when looking at Stockfish, it seems to like knight f3, which doesn't make sense, because can't you just take that knight? And it wants to take back, and it's just saying, look, we've got a good attack on the king. So, yeah, this is really, really, really confusing. So this first game, I think, it's one for the opening theorists. Like, what's up with this position? Wow. So I didn't realize this was so complex. It's a very normal looking French defense. Takes, knight here. Yeah, and if you take back, there's all kinds of tricks. So actually, this is looking at opening explorer. Is this a position that's happened before? So hi there, VSEM. Yeah, so let's see. White, Sexy. So Sexy and Art of Deception have both played this as white. I mean, so queen takes d4 seems natural, even though the computer is also thinking knight at f6 immediately as an idea. Okay, so the idea is white. Okay, black has to take that bishop, or or is dead. And then you play this knight at f6. Okay. And now it's thinking black's best move is queen takes f6. Because if you don't take that, if you take the pawn or something, a knight is landing on g7, and yeah, bad things are happening. So queen takes f6. So this is a really, so we had 2 games. Sexy I Know It and Art of Deception against Mother Hubbard followed this line. So this is like some really good preparation, it seems, from Sexy I Know It. So it takes back, and he has a queen in hand, but the black bishops are defending. So it's preparation, but it's not clear. So knight at e2 checks okay. Knight at f3 apparently is even better for black, and then it really is. But no one's ever played knight f3. So knight e2 here, yeah. Okay, so although this was a nice opening preparation and the computer really likes it, f takes g7. Okay, so he did the right thing. He had to get black did the right thing again, avoiding. Can't go directly for a mate. This is too serious. So we were discussing this in the game. If you went for something like bishop takes rook, then this is indeed mating in game 1. Because if you try and say block the mate like so, we want to try and get the king onto the d file so that we can take the knight on d4 with check. So okay, knight f6, king e7. Oh, so it turns out you don't need to do that. You just take the knight, and if king takes, you still have a rook and queen in hand. So you have knight g takes h7, and if king goes to e7, rook here is checkmate. That's very pretty. So if the king goes here, bishop h6 check. If king takes h6, queen g5 is mate. Okay, so I've got an idea. So that if the game is particularly interesting, I should probably transfer it to a study. And I don't know, this is interesting for the opening. So what actually happened in the game? See castles, queenside, blocks, queen here. Okay, so taking that queen is a mistake. Pawn drop on d7. On d7. Apparently is better, but I'm not sure why. You're blocking. You're interesting. You're blocking the defense of the knight. So pawn at d7. These games are really actually quite interesting. And why can't queen just take on d7? Because then you take the rook. Okay, so I think this game is really quite interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to the CWC study. Okay, so that was Sexy I Know It against Kleerkast, game 1. So let's put that 1. Okay. So this is very interesting. So I wonder if anyone in this position has played the other move, which is knight f6. So knight f6 is directly is still unexplored territory. So no one has ever played this. So this would be a novelty. So that's something which, now that I've mentioned it, I'm sure we'll see it played in some future match. And apparently queen takes f6 is bad in this position. So you can't do the queen sack that we saw in the actual game, because bishop takes d7, king takes d7. Now the king is on the half open d file. Actually, in the open d file, just that knight defending. King c8, and then you take the queen, and this is looking very dangerous. Okay, so just to repeat this idea again, if knight takes f6, okay, but black can just take with the pawn, just do the obvious thing. Then white's best move is to take the knight, and black has a knight for this square, but for the moment it's defended by the bishop. and the bishop can't take. Okay, so the bishop can't take this for now. Why not? So let's just check. So rook g8 is the move, but just for a second, if we had a, what's the danger of this move? Okay, it's because this file is open, so we can go knight to g7, and the king has to go either king to f8 or to e7. And what is the danger here? If I go to e7, of course, I've got pawn takes f6, which is a big problem. So you don't want to go to e7, so let's go straight to f8. But then we have knight 7 takes e6, and we're picking up the queen. So king to e8. And although we're picking up the queen, it seems like Stockfish values the knight above the queen in this position. I'm not quite sure why. So it just wants to go queen takes queen. Okay, rook takes queen forced. And is there a mate? So we have a pawn and queen in hand. I'm going to just let it just think a second. Okay, so I mean, it wants to do knight takes c7, but I can't see. No, knight takes c7. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I thought it was saying knight takes f7. I was like, I don't get it. Yeah, okay, this is interesting, but I suppose I'll just go back to f8. Then, then at g7, why can't I just take it? Because then I am taking, or just going knight c to e6, okay, and the queen is landing on g7. Okay, so there are lots of variations, but white should be winning. Suppose king goes to e7 here. Again, you go e takes f6. King to d7, trying to run over to this side of the board. Knight takes b5, and there are too many weaknesses, and white's attack is going to be faster than anything black can conjure up. Okay, so that's why knight here. So if you do take with the, as obviously bishop takes bishop is out of the question. In this line, so if you did knight f6 first, so takes, queen takes d4, bishop takes bishop is out of the question, so I shouldn't really mention that. So the move apparently is rook g8. So you're getting onto the open g file. Maybe you're considering a future attack yourself. So you go queen takes bishop, queen takes queen. This is all very forcing. So this would be quite good for preparation for someone if they want a surprise on their opponent, unless they've also watched this video. So what should white do here? I mean, I'm getting a little bit sort of sidetracked on this. Queen d4 is apparently good. Looks reasonable. Oh, I see. And then this is suddenly not so good for white. So maybe this isn't good. A good novelty. Bishop at d5, and black seems okay. So okay, so suddenly at the end of that line, it's like, oh, actually black's okay. If he finds this key rook g8 move. So rook g8 is the key in this position. Because if we look at the other moves, knight to h3, knight to h5, knight to f5, it looks like white's in good shape. And just to recap, if bishop takes b5, knight to g7, and then yeah, probably this would be more likely, and then you're actually swapping queens, keeping the knights, checking a bit, and yeah. Okay, but getting back to the game, so this is a really okay. So white has an advantage, but it's not so easy. So this to see how to attacking the rook and the knight at the same time, queen defending both, exchange, exchange. Okay, so there's a key move here, which is pretty hard to see, is pawn at d7 blocking the defense. So if, for example, you take with the bishop, then you take the knight. Takes with the bishop, takes with the knight. So this is a quite nice little idea. And black and white would probably have a slight advantage. Let's say at least white is better in this line. So there's a neat little trick there. But instead, takes, and yeah, now it's more uncertain, and black actually is probably better. And this is just a huge blunder. Black's attack is too fast, and there's nothing white can do here. It's just black's got tons of material to execute the mate, so that was bad. Okay, so let's go to game 2. So, okay, so game 2, we'll just quickly run through it, and if there's something interesting, I'll add it to the study. So yeah, so this opening we figured is not necessarily ideal for white in a slower time control, but it takes some grinding. So black's still doing okay, gives up the queen. So this looked nasty for white, but apparently rook e8 and should still be okay. And black is lacking material though. So clearly here, sorry, rook at a8 immediately was what we said during the game. Yeah. So rook at a8 is definitely stronger for white because he just wasted a move, not doing it immediately. So does it later. Okay, and at this point, white's position is busted because that fianchettoed bishop is a very valuable piece in white's defense, and it's worth a lot, an extra piece. So although, and yeah, so we just so black is still, yeah, black is going to just progress through the position. Okay, so that's that. Okay, game 3. Let's look at it in analysis. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so this position, queen takes d4 is recommended, possibly, but he goes for queen a5. Push again. Just takes. Tries to distract the knight. Okay, so this is a nice position for white, and after this move, yeah, the start squared bishop is blocked off. He needs to develop his bishop at some point, but and he needs to stop any future e6. So why is this so bad? Oh yes, of course, because it's the trick that happened in the game. c6 is undefended. This is game over because the queen is hanging and d8 is unprotected. And I imagine queen takes c3 or something. Okay, so bishop at d5, and you're winning a free queen. So I was thinking queen takes knight maybe, but it's not helping, and then moving the bishop. But yeah, it's mate, and pawn at b7 here is mating for white. Okay, so this was a crash. Okay, going now to game 4. Okay, so game 4 of the match we just watched between Sexton and Kleerkast. So again, we have this setup. I'll just run it through computer analysis. Okay, so this knight f8, I think this is correct, knight f8. Let's see what he says. So c6 is good, knight e8 is good. So they're both nice. You can just play c6 immediately though. So actually there's nothing between them. So, yeah, so in this position I was thinking take and put on d5, but the move he did is actually better. So what's wrong with taking? If you take, then taking back with the knight is good. Maybe he's got an eye of dropping on f6 or something in future. So I was thinking just, this is my original plan, which you can see is not so good because then pawn at d6 might be coming. Okay, so that's rather awkward. So that's why you don't do that. You have to strengthen your dark squares first. So that's what he does. Bishop h2, not completely ideal, but yeah, it's good. Okay, so he's going to try and undermine your dark squares. e5, you just maintain control. And now you quickly get to work on the light squares, and you've got a really nice... yeah, you take this key bishop, now you're going to try and aim for that knight. Yeah, I was thinking here, pawn at d6 to dislodge the knight, and you're in on f3. Or just go at f3 immediately with the pawn, apparently is good. The idea being, if he takes, you've got a bishop to replace. Yeah. Okay, so taking that thing was, as we saw during the game, it's not ideal. He wants knight at d3. Don't really see it, but okay. So takes. Can't really, if you move back, then there's a pawn landing on e2. So this is really dead. And this is an interesting move, knight takes pawn. Because we're thinking if you take the knight, this is dead. It's mate in 3. Bishop takes queen, pawn takes, and then pawn here, checkmate. So actually this is just a free pawn. He can't take with the pawn, he can't take with the queen. But maybe what people said is it's not completely resignable immediately. It looked resignable because you're thinking in terms of pawn takes knight, it's mate in 3. But you'd have to do a move like bishop at c7 or something to keep the game going. Queen f6, just augmenting this pin. I mean, I'm thinking just convert on this pin, but the computer's got other ideas, lots and lots of other ideas. I'm not quite sure why, but it wants to go e5. I just don't see it, but okay. Or e3 or h2. But why not just convert on this? I mean, surely this is good. I see it. There's a lot of defense on f3, to be fair, which I hadn't quite appreciated. We also got 2 pawns, so a kind of annoying thing to do is just to go b2 and at a2 and just get another queen. I mean, this is just kind of picking up more material. But if he goes knight at d2, I mean, okay, so you pick up the queen. I mean, so this is obviously losing, but I'm just trying to think what's its method. You could pick up a rook. I mean, it's sort of, I guess you're playing take all the pieces rather than go for mate in this line. Okay, so I think that's enough of that. I didn't quite appreciate how it wasn't mate immediately, but it did look pretty bad. Okay, so this is game 5, and I'm going to look now from Kleerkast's perspective as black. And we have another of these. Okay, so it's a kind of French defense with knight g5. So I've seen this myself. I wonder if Opening Explorer recognizes. Oh, there are quite a few people have played it. So enough good people have played it that, yeah, I don't think. If I were to include the 1800s, I'm just wondering if any recent games of myself. No, it's just. So it seems to be section I know it as white, and yeah. And I don't know any of the opening theory beyond this point, but I guess the point which Fumitox was making while we were watching this is this knight is not going anywhere, it's not doing anything, there's no need to take it. I mean, so there's nothing wrong with taking it, but it's just maybe just continue developing is slightly better. So he takes it, and now this pin is really annoying. I guess that's all you can do. You give up g7, rook b8 takes, good, knight a5 again, bishop a4, and he's okay. So it turns out, so all he has is a knight. Yeah, so knight. This is what I think Oppa said. Knight at a6 is a really nice move. So the idea is knight at a6. If rook takes b2, you're also threatening knight takes c7, check, king d8, and what do you do now? You could put a pawn in defending that knight, or you could just move the knight back to here and try and put a pawn here. Okay, so we saw something similar with knight here, rook takes b2, and g2. Okay, so the computer actually quite likes black here, so it doesn't feel it works quite as well. But taking this is fine. But now, what should black do? Rook takes b7. Okay, so black did that. Okay, so this is well played. Was there another move? Yes. We saw during the game queen e3 check and simply pick up the free knight was superior than bishop. But this is nice. Coming in. King h1 is good. Takes. Bishop at c8. Okay, but the problem is white's black's light squares are a bit weak. So just trying to evacuate. And now white's threatening mate in 1. Okay, so white is in a really dominating position. So a lot of players might even resign as black in this position, but it's not as bad as it looks, is what's surprising. Rook takes, yeah, so this is probably that had to be taken. Rook takes f2, e takes f2, knight at I'm not sure what the follow-up is, but it's saying knight at h3. Why can't the queen take the pawn? I guess it gets kicked. Oh yeah, if the queen takes the pawn, you take the bishop. So the queen is an important defender. It's very important in this position. So anyway, what happened in the game was knight here. Oh yeah, so this is a mistake because well, okay, so taking the queen is powerful. Yeah, but okay, so we did this, and it's like white is sort of one move away from mate the whole time, but actually white is winning if you can find a good defense. So something like queen h2 here, for example, is a good defense. Queen h3 is not good because it's just one check and then it's all over. And suddenly it's black in control, and there's a crazy finish. So black has got mate in 3, king h1, g2, g takes f1 equals knight was stronger, but takes back. Ooh, so here the move was bishop to g3 check, king takes g3, and rook to g2 checkmate. So that was the idea missed. Bishop to g3 check if king h1, rook here checkmate if king takes g3, rook here checkmate. So that's quite a nice mate. But this is huge time pressure from both sides. But yeah, I think I'll add that as an interesting mate in 2 from black. Is that sexy versus Kleerkast in game 5. So if we just add a new chapter, KK game 5, and paste that in from black's perspective, create chapter. It didn't work. Yes, it did work. So bishop at g3, the idea being if king takes bishop, this is quite pretty, rook here is checkmate because the bishop is actually guarding the escape square. So quite hard to see that in time pressure that it's being guarded. And if you go to the corner, then obviously here is checkmate. Okay. Now there was a weird draw we saw during the match. What was that again? Was that in game 4? No, I've completely forgotten. There's an f takes g6 idea. Maybe it was in game 6, so we haven't got there yet. I can't remember. Yes, okay, this is game 6. Okay, so I'm going to add this to the study because I think it's interesting. And we'll play through it. And we've got 12 minutes to go and still 5 games. Just to quickly look at. So this is game 6. Let's get straight into the interesting bit at the end. I've got this open double. So let's shut that down. So this is very interesting. Okay. Takes queen. Okay. At this in this position. So although it looks like black is winning, and the computer reckons -21, if we actually play it through, f takes g7 for white. And I think black has to take that seriously, because if black goes straight ahead with his own attack, then there's g takes f8 equals queen, and you can't take with the king or you're getting mated. So why is that? Because if you take with the king, white will have rook at h8 check, and the king is blocked off. So black will be defending with, say, a bishop or a queen. But then there's knight at d7, king to e8, rook takes d8, rook takes g8 rather. Okay, now do we take the knight or do we block? But if we block, it just gets taken anyway. So we might as well take. And now I was thinking, do we go rook d8 or rook d6? So it turns out rook d8 doesn't work, but rook d6. Okay, so we're forced king c7, no other move. Now, bishop at d8 covers the escape route. If king b8, we're going to go bishop a5 check, and it's going to go block, 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 and eventually it's going to have to block on f8, and then we're going to have, let's just try and see that through. Here, we're going to eventually have to block on f8, but then we can take it, take back, and here's checkmate. So that's not going to work. So he definitely does have to take this bishop. Okay, so can we see the mate without looking? Yeah, because we've got another bishop. So we have the same mate happening, king to b8, except we've got a pawn and a rook, so we can do it even quicker just by going like this here. And he's got no escape. Rook here, check, or even prettier. D7 checkmate. Okay, so this is why you can't take with the king, which is all quite intuitive anyway, that you wouldn't want to take with the king. Okay. But now there's a very interesting idea. Knight at f6 check. And the point is that you have to go into the corner, because if you go to g7, okay, that's a whole new kettle of fish. If you take that knight, which seems like the natural thing to do, then now there's rook at h8, and you can't come up because then there's bishop takes f6 and rook g7. So you have to take that thing, and now there's, very important to play this correctly, pawn at g7 check. If you just go king h7, we're going to take with the knight, etc., etc., etc. So we're going to take that pawn, bishop takes knight, king h7. Pawn at g6 just to seal off the king. If the king takes it, then we're in business. Just rook at g7, king here, and knight at g3 is mate because bishop will seal off. So you have to take that with either the bishop or the pawn, and now we've sealed in the king. So rook here, king here, rook takes f7. He blocks. He either blocks or he comes across. If you block, then you go bishop takes. Okay, blocks, bishop takes g7, king g8, rook takes rook, king takes bishop, and rook here check. I'm not seeing it fully. King here, and maybe you still got a knight, so knight here checkmate. So I think you have to go like so, but then you're still winning a rook, and now you're winning this way as well. Just a pawn on e7, and you're getting mated on the back rank. So king g8, you're trying to run to h7, but you just have nowhere. You can just even use this, you can just swing your rook over. And just to look at the other line, if you block, then takes, here, check, takes, and then rook here, check, king here, and knight here. Okay, so what was that all about? That was why you have to, yeah, that's why even though So even though knight takes knight seems like a very reasonable thing to do, it would give your opponent another knight in hand to use later on. So it turns out that king h8 immediately is stronger, pawn at g7, king takes g7, and now we're going to try and flush this king out. Knight h5, okay, so it can't go down because it's complicated, but rook at h8, king takes h8, pawn at g7, king takes. It will get mated if black goes down. If he goes down to here, it's more obviously getting mated. But if it goes down to here, actually you've got two rooks in hand. You force the king to the corner, and then king to h7. Oh, you've got this happening. Okay, did I play this right? Yeah, I think this is forced, and this is going to be really bad because the knight prevents the king from escaping. So king to h8. Okay, but how to execute a mate? Because a rook here, the king then starts running. Oh, and the bishop covers the square anyway. Okay, so it's really confusing. You have to do knight g6, and it's again this idea of just sealing the king in. Rook at a8, he's going to block. Okay, so I don't see this at all, but bishop take f6, he blocks, but then you rook at g8. So I do not see this at all, how this mate is coming, but knight takes knight, and now you have a rook. You definitely have enough now to mate, but just like a rook here and a rook here would mate, surely. Rook here, check, king here, rook here seems to be the nice way of doing that. Okay, but this is all why you can't go down, it turns out. It's all rather complicated, a cunning rook at h8 idea. Okay, so you have to go up, but then there's rook at g7, so you just take. So then there's pawn at g4. If you take it, you're getting mated. If you take it, black will have the extra piece in hand to mate you with bishop at f2, and whether you block, the rook is coming here, and it's going to be checkmate. If you block with something, then rook at h5 is going to be mate. So a crazy draw is going to happen because you're going to go king takes. Okay. So after this, black has to go king takes h4. Now you go rook h5, go here. You go pawn takes bishop check. Okay. and it turns out blocking and you lose, so you have to run. And now the idea is bishop here. And it turns out if you take this bishop, then the rook is coming, taking the pawn, and black is going to be mated. So king e4 is actually the only move. If you take the bishop, rook takes pawn, and it will be taking on here, and the king can't come out. So what else? What else is there to it? Rook f2. Oh, king e1 would be the only square. Knight to b2 check. You have to block, and rook takes knight would be mate. Okay, so yeah. So in this position, you can't take that bishop. But it turns out this square is unprotected. And now white has no way. White is a pawn short of mating. So this is actually a draw. So that's a draw. So a crazy draw that was missed in that game. With only 2 minutes to go, I think I'm going to maybe end the stream and start a new stream with JK the Bullfrog, or maybe we'll just continue the same stream. So we're going to have JK the Bullfrog is going to be playing GSVC, I believe. And there's still 7, 8, 9, 10, which I didn't look at in detail. In these games. This is game 7, just looking at it again, the engine on. So white. So black has mate in 10 here. Oh yes, this is the mate. Mate in 5. King f4. So there's a key move was rook at d. Was rook at d. Oh, what? Rook at d4 I don't understand at all, but the idea is if bishop takes d4, queen here is checkmate. I see that much. But what if knight takes d4? Then rook takes d4, and again the queen is sealing off the exit, and it's taking any blocker. So again, bishop takes d4. And oh yes, really nice. Knight at g2. So you seal off the king. So it has to go to g5 or f5. But now you just h5. And if he goes into the corner, a pawn is mating wherever he goes. So it's checkmate. Well, that's very nice. So I think, yeah, this is a nice position. Was there, someone said there was a mate in 1. Missed. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. But okay. So queen d5 is correct. This is quite a difficult position. Yeah, how do you mate? Okay, so black to play. Let's just get the fan of that.
Hello.
Hi there, the Lone Wolf. And hi there, Fumitop.
Who is playing?
So JK the Bullfrog is playing. Have they started already? Yeah.
Wait,
so,
who?
JK the Bullfrog. Yeah, he's online and he's playing against GSVC, who I can't see yet.
They are already playing? I don't see.
No, they're not. They're not playing yet.
GSVC is not online.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Oh. That means we can play more Survive. Okay, bye.
Well, it's
Can
minus.
you ping us? Can you?
Yeah, I can.
Could you ping us when they start?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
And at least someone. Yeah. Let's see. Where is JK? Maybe they. No, they haven't. JK is here. The GSVC isn't. Okay. So Chiro is asking, am I still compiling puzzles? So yes, is basically the answer to that. And who won? Sexy 173. An answer to that. So this is quite a pretty mate. King, pawn here, king here, and pawn here was checkmate. Quite hard to see it though, to be frank. And king here, pawn here. That first move, rook at d4. I guess it's an idea of clearing away defenders. The bishop and the knight are both defenders, and it's this sort of idea of clearing away defenders. So Chiro reckons it was a big upset. No, I don't. Not really. Sexy is a very good player. Okay. So I'll say join CWC voice. So JK playing GSPC soon. So let's see, when will they be playing? JK the Bullfrog is online, GSPC not yet online. Okay, so going back to, so that was game 7. Yeah, it was a missed mate from Kleerkast. So let's look at that quickly. We don't really have time, but game 8, Kleerkast 1. And let's just going too fast to see anything, but let's keep this open, just keep an eye out. Okay. So looking from Kleerkast's perspective as white here, okay, so black actually had a big advantage in this position. Yeah, I mean, black is completely in control, and we just saw like a complete flip. Black even has mate in 9 here. What's the mate in 9? Pawn at e2 is mate in 9, but instead, suddenly white starts an attack, and it's white with a mating attack. So that was a nice mate to finish. So okay, let's just put this in the study. So kind of flips from one side having mate to the other. And that queen is a little bit offside, so like stuff wasn't being defended. So let's just take that out. Yeah, so it's in this position, this is position white. White to mate, and white found the key move, pawn at f7. F takes equal to, so f7, you go here, takes. Okay, so the idea, what if rook takes? So if rook takes, then this square then becomes empty. So in fact, you could even just go knight here, check, king here, and rook h8 mate. Or you could go, another different mate is you could go rook at f8. The idea being he has to block at some point, and the moment he blocks, you have a smother. So, okay, but what's very interesting is obviously black was completely winning this, and the key move would have been something like pawn at e2 here. So the idea being that if the bishop were to ever take that, you have knight takes pawn, I believe, and queen takes rook. Let's just see. If bishop takes, knight takes e2, king has to run, queen takes rook, and you're threatening both queen to g1 and rook at h1, checkmate, and white's just got spike checks. So that can't be taken very easily, this pawn at e2. So so this position, I should write it as position black to mate. Pawn at e2. So what's the best defense? Pawn at f7, rook takes f7. rook e1, but then you simply go rook at f1 check. If the king decides to run, you're winning a free rook, and mating soon after. But if he takes, you have rook at h1, sort of sealing the king in, and then pawn, and this side it's a king e1. King has to go to e1, and then queen takes bishop. It's checkmate. So that's really bad news. But if you go to king h2, you just simply take the rook, I believe. Take the rook. Okay, so GSVC is saying in chat, he's not accepting my challenge. I think he might have connection problems. He only has one bar. And someone's saying, can someone ping when it starts? And same, okay. Okay. And Chiro says he's watching the stream, so that's good. And Juicebold, yeah, rook e4 was more intuitive. Tons of mates there. Rook f3 was a shocker, but he had 2 seconds. Problem was just time. Sexy was always better or winning after the opening, but sometimes too slow. Yeah. I mean, there's some really complicated openings, so it's quite interesting stuff. Okay, so just going back to that game, since we seem to have time, so that was game 8, I believe. So we might even have time because GSVC is having trouble challenging JK the Bullfrog. We might even have time to just have a quick look at games 9 and 10. Okay. So this sexy note is white here. Let's just run that through analysis, but let's see. Okay, so queen takes pawn looked, yeah, it's a trap because it loses the queen. So what would have been better? Rook takes b7. That's rook takes b7 and dump the pawn on f6. That's something. Yeah, that's creative. And then if you take, then we take back and we have a pawn for g7. And if you don't take, yeah, so you've got a nasty attack, and you're saying your rook on b1 doesn't count for much. Okay, instead he goes for that pawn, and he goes on g6 rather than f6. But it still works out quite nicely. So yeah, white has a completely dominant attack. Goes for mate in 3, takes, checkmate. Yeah, so that was a nice mate. Blunderman says starting, I think. Yeah, I can't. They should be, but JK the Bullfrog's not playing yet. So yeah, rook g3 was a bit of a mistake apparently. So just knight g6 immediately. So just quickly looking at the very last game. So 600 is black, and let's just run that through. Yeah, so just targeting e3, and maybe knight e3 was good here. And picking up that rook, and yeah, the rook was the key piece, not the bishop. Interestingly.
I go CVC voice.
Hi there. Oh, it has
Hello?
started. It is just starting. Okay, wow. I just noticed it started. Has someone pinged?